It's Event Leviathan, number 4 of a 6-issue mystery thriller. Who is Leviathan? I don't know. So we've got the 4th issue of this little, mini event. I mean, I gotta give Bendis credit. He's now just putting event in the title. Event Leviathan. Just event Civil War II. Yeah, sure. Alex Malev, really nice art. I like his stuff. I like him doing big hero stuff from time to time. He did, of course, the Jessica Jones work and a number of other comics. But it's nice to see him just do big explosion stuff every now and then. It's new. It's nice. Can't argue with it. So this issue is about people talking and kind of snarking at each other. And so fundamentally, this is going to be kind of a different review because really, if I'm describing this comic in like 2 sentences, it's, a bunch of people hang out and have tense conversations with each other. That's the book, which is not bad. And it's funny. A lot of new readers come on and they see Bendis for the first time and they're like, wow, this dialogue is great. It's like, it's like Joss Whedon himself. And it's very stylish. The challenge that I've had with Bendis, and I mentioned this before, continues to be if you just had the dialogue bubbles just pointing to different people, like you took the issue and you just had it go to different people, it would all be the same. And the characters don't sound like themselves. Like it's, here's Green Arrow, and he's going, Leviathan is using other people's stolen tech. It's tacky. Like, okay. But you get a lot of kind of statements said. And again, you could just move. I should do this experiment. I just take a page and I just change the word bubbles around. And it's like, hey, it reads the same. That's the challenge with, I think, Bendis as a writer and then books that are heavy talky books, but don't preserve the characters. I mean, Superman does not sound like Superman. Batman doesn't sound like Batman. Damian sort of sounds like Damian, so I'm going to give it that. But it is, there's a mystery. There is Leviathan. Who is Leviathan? And we've kind of gone to, who's the organization of Leviathan? We kind of know that it's a something. It's a big spy agency. It's taken over all the other agencies. It's stolen their people, their tech, and it's going to be the new force of the DC universe. Assuming it doesn't all collapse at the end, but it feels like they're lining it all up. There's clearly a mole and a rat, and we're going to have somebody flip. And is it the question? Is it Green Arrow? Is it, there's a bunch of little clues in this book where they're talking about Green Arrow, you understand, and kind of there's a bunch of dialogue that starts to suggest that maybe Green Arrow is Leviathan. If you're following along and you're using traditional kind of mystery detective tropes, then Green Arrow is probably your likely scenario of somebody being elevated here. And it would fit kind of Bendis' style that it's that character. Now, is it Green Arrow? I don't know. Probably not. But it certainly, this issue is providing a lot of little standard red herring tropes, if you will, to Green Arrow's direction. Just in, whenever a character in a group starts being kind of self-deprecating out of nowhere, and it's like, well, you're leaving me out, I understand. Kind of asking the questions, Green Arrow's going, who else did they set up? They had you and they give you a pass. It's like, they didn't even try to set me up. I'm not on the lam. I'm just hurt and confused. And it's like that back and forth kind of starts to suggest that maybe it's him. Now that wouldn't make the one aspect, and then I'll get off this Green Arrow kick. So again, I don't believe that's true, but who knows, is that they did this work with Green Arrow in No Justice, where he was given this kind of super powerful weapon and kind of had some interactions with Amanda Waller. And there was, that would be, if Bendis is the kind of guy to pick up on past storylines and do something with it, that would be a really natural connection into everything that is happening here, because it exposed him to some new things. It exposed him to maybe jaded a little bit about how the heroes work and everything else. So why not? Um, so again, this issue, people talk, and then we do get the Silencer back. We haven't seen her since her series ended. Again, and she's a big fan of Lois Lane because everybody's a big fan of Lois Lane. It's interesting that DC portrays Lois Lane as this hard-nosed super reporter, amazing writer who gets under the skin of lots of people, but everybody is always a big fan. Like, you could look at if I had the time, I'd go back and look at all the books Bendis has written and just pull out all the panels where somebody is going, Lois Lane, big fan. It's like every book. It's like villains, gang leaders. Last week's Superman. There's another one, big fan of Lois Lane. Here's a Silencer. It's like, I'm not going to kill her. Big fan. It's like, okay. So there, we don't know whose side exactly that Silencer is on. But maybe she's working with the group of other detectives that's kind of revealed. So we have, to kind of cast this issue here, we have Batman, we have Damian, we have Manhunter, we have Superman, Lois Lane, Plastic Man, The Question, Green Arrow, and then we've got Batgirl kind of calling in. She accepted the offer to join Leviathan and has been missing, but she's been a mole on the inside, and now there's a ton of people. And again, well, I'll get off the Green Arrow kick, but the dialogue from Green Arrow is like classic he's the villain stuff. So we'll see. But Superman goes racing off to try and get to Seattle, and he gets there, but too late. And the big energy burst thing happens and doesn't get there in time. Batgirl goes away. Lois is driven to the other group of detectives, and that's here we got Constantine and Deathstroke and the other Question, Zatanna, Harvey Bullock for some reason. It's some interesting stuff. So where's this all going? We got 2 issues left. If we're true to form, the next issue should be the big reveal of whoever's running Leviathan, and then after that we're going to get some more, maybe the resolution, how it all tips off. It's hard to tell, again, still, if this is something Bendis is setting up to be a big kind of force in the issues to come, or if this is just kind of a storyline. We don't know. So anyway, there you have it. Event Leviathan number 4. Who is this comic for? Well, I mean, for the dialogue, it's for newer readers. If you haven't read a lot of DC and you're kind of interested in a fast, smart, quick talking story, then this probably fits that bill. If you're a fan of Bendis, this is classic Bendis. If you like kind of a good mystery thriller and you don't really care whether it's going to have a long-term impact or not, then this is, this probably is fitting the bill. It's nice to see some mysteries. I'll say that comics have gotten a little one note of late, so the idea of having these kind of mystery, bigger storylines is appealing. I appreciate that part of it. When is this not for you? Well, if you really care about characterization, if you have strong feelings toward, in particular, Superman or Green Arrow or Batman, these characters are all going to sound weird and foreign to you, and you're not going to like it. Probably not going to like it. If you also are kind of jaded at kind of mystery events that are going to break the internet, then probably pass. It's hard to say where this is all going, but we haven't seen in new solicits or anything if Leviathan's really going to play out as a big concept or not. So who knows? They're certainly setting up a lot of things, and somebody is the big mole. So again, there were some little clues in here that made it seem like Green Arrow, but I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. It could very well be that we get to the very end of it and it's just some new character has been created. Bendis has a way of doing that as well. But what do you think? Are you reading this series? Are you on board? Do you like the mystery aspect of it? Where are you at with this series? Leave me a comment below. Would love to hear your thoughts. Like, subscribe, click the bell for notification, and thanks for listening.